I always forget y'all can still see me. Oh my gosh, they got that on fly spray smell like perfume. Oh. Anyway, welcome to Talk Lately. It is 7:22 right here on BigExposedRadio.com. We're live on a special night because it was by request by Lindsay. I was busy walking and running and stuff. So we're here. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. I'm joined with my panel, Nate, Naya, and Lindsay on the phone. Welcome, you guys. Welcome, welcome.
Hello.
Welcome. Hello. How are you?
I am not on living a rich life. That's for damn sure that background says. So let's get rid of that. I'm doing okay. I was just telling Lindsay though that I fell off a little bit. I've been eating like a lot of bread infused stuff lately, which is, against my routine. So I had to like crunch down and get back on it. Like I started, what's today, Wednesday? So Monday I was like gung ho. Actually, it was Sunday. I was gung ho back in my running and my walking and my exercising and all that kind of stuff because I needed to get back on focus. And I did that. Good. And I feel, I felt, and it probably was just a mind thing, but I felt like I was ballooning up, that's what I felt like. Every time I took a bite of bread, I was just like, oh my God, my stomach. What's going on? Oh my God, is that my thighs? Okay. Is my thighs rubbing?
But at least you took action though. At least you took action.
I did. It was like immediate. Like I felt it and then I was like, oh no. But it was so good while it was going down though.
So was you safe? Did you have any cicadas chasing you or anything?
No, it's been cold. So
yeah, it has, hasn't it?
And it's because the sun has been blocked out by the wildfires.
Yeah.
So the planet is cool.
It's really cold lately.
It's starting to warm up now. Like it was like 70 something again today, but that's still unusual.
But it still had that cool breeze.
It not being for summer not being over. Summer's not over for another couple of days.
Yeah,
and
it still had that cool breeze to it though.
It's it. But yeah, welcome. How was your weekend, Naya? Or week anyway? I guess it's been a week.
It was my weekend was great. I went to baby shower in Virginia. Then I chilled out or whatever, and then yesterday I was off, and so it was pretty good.
Okay, nothing eventful though.
Yep. It was an eventful weekend. I had my sister spend the night with me, and my nieces and my nephew, and that was pretty eventful. So yeah, and then I went to the baby shower in Virginia, like I said, on Sunday. Went to work on Monday. Was off yesterday. Enjoyed my day. So yeah, pretty eventful for me.
Okay.
No time to sleep. No time at all to sleep.
Lindsay, how was your weekend?
Yeah. I didn't do anything. I actually went into Baltimore. It's something I never do like that. But I went to Baltimore.
I wish I didn't ever come into here. I mean, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I didn't do anything. Just went into Baltimore for a day or two and just chilled out.
Okay. Nate, what's going on?
Just working. Yeah, this is basically working. I haven't, now that my last project is finished for the moment, I wanted to give myself a couple weeks before I start doing anything else. Because it's really, people think we're opening back up, but stuff is still smart people and business is still restricted, so it's not as much I can do as an artist outside of virtual events and like my jewelry. So right now my room, I'm preparing a part of my living room so I can take my jewelry out of my bedroom. So I've been focusing on that and just trying to get through this school year.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a task in itself.
I need something in my mouth.
You need something in your mouth.
Yes, a goalie,
Goalie.
a piece of candy or something. You know, you got that dry mouth. I need a goalie. There we go.
That didn't sound too pleasant.
Because your mind is nasty. That's not my fault.
Oh my God.
So, well, I guess I got
You
a
are
good show
not
for
gonna
you.
be smacking.
It's a gummy. It's gonna go away sooner or later. See, look at my
It's
background now.
smacking.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's
I don't know
candy.
what's this disconnect.
I'm not gonna smack. I'm gonna pop my tongue.
Don't get them.
Well, after last week, we should have a relatively smooth week of conversation because
Yeah.
it's just us. She might try to squeeze.
Yes.
She might try to squeeze her way in here, though. I don't know.
But just let y'all have the floor. You, Nate.
Yeah, I'm gotta go.
Yeah, I'm gonna make my exit real smooth.
Y'all something else.
Wait a minute, you gotta wait a minute now. Hold on, you gotta back me up.
That's how I look.
So, from some not breaking news, former Democratic for governor candidate of Florida, Andrew Gillum, he came out as bisexual. I mean, but I mean, like, how did he think we didn't know? Like,
I think he, I'm glad Tamron Hall had the interview and not
Wendy Williams.
Oprah or Wendy Williams or Gail. I'm glad one of them didn't get it, or one of them white reporters, because I think she handled him very well and she allowed him to just tell his truth without being combative or trying to go tick for tack. But I don't think he came out. I think him and his wife have an understanding, and he just let us know what the understanding was.
That's what I'm saying. I think he's always been that.
I'm happy with the response to it, because normally black men don't get understanding. I'm not saying everybody agree with it, but it wasn't a lot of
positive response.
Yeah, it wasn't a lot of jokes. It was, I think, because he had a awesome track record in terms of his career so far, and it was hard to knock him down. Like I was thoroughly surprised and happy that nobody, the jokes didn't start, and I was just surprised that they didn't start. But I think because Tamron Hall set the tone for how everybody else should respond, I think that was, so I'm glad that she did it versus Gayle King.
I'm trying to think of it. If it was Gayle King, would it have been different? I do believe it would have been different if Wendy would have did it, but I don't know about.
I mean, they would have Gayle would have just, everything he said, she would have had a question or a counter argument. Like it was like a technicality where Tamron asked him about coming out as gay. And Gayle King would have handled that a lot different. Like, isn't that the same thing? Like, she would have, in her, manly state, would have came out and
not manly state though.
She tried to be a white man in her.
Oh my God.
She do. I mean, that's who her and Oprah try to be. They try to be the white man in a situation, but it's cool. Be you. Do you.
So are you saying that they don't act like themselves? Is that what it is?
Themselves are, I mean, them being a journalist from when they started being journalists, you had to do it a certain way.
Right.
And it was only a few people of stature in terms of women that they could mimic themselves as. And I think it was that Barbara Walters character.
Mm-hmm.
And they losing a lot of cool points.
Mm-hmm.
Because they question us like white people question us.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I can see that perspective. Hmm. You don't have nothing to say about it, Naya?
I mean, because I agree with Nate a lot, and I'm just like he said, like it's always some type of
Oh
jokes
my
or
God, I'm being
insecurity.
attacked. I'm sorry.
Oh, I was like, oh my God! But there's always some type of jokes or insecurities or something when it comes down for a African American male to say his truth or to come out. Then it's always some type of jokes or they, disown him or something. But for the fact that everyone didn't do that and gave him the respect like that, that was a lot. So I agree with Nate. Had it been Wendy Williams or anybody else, it would have went wrong, left, jokes, all types of stuff. They would have bashed him or whatever. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. And Lindsay?
So.
I agree with Nate. Like Nat said, I agree with Nate. It's not I'm glad.
Like she trying to cop out because she don't want nobody to know.
Boy, you better be quiet. I think it's a good thing. I think it's a good thing that everyone at least respects his political career enough not to make fun of him. And it's good for our people to stand up for each other and have each other's backs.
So apparently, according to this, she did not ask the question. He offered it. He said, "You didn't ask the question. You put it out there whether I identify as gay." The answer is I don't identify as gay, but I identify as bisexual.
Mm-hmm. She didn't necessarily ask him a question. She made the statement about him coming out as gay.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't see yourself as that, like that's for me. Like I don't feel the need to always jump out there and defend myself, especially when the information is false. But
when people try to counterattack against the gay word and
mm-hmm.
go with something like bisexual that means both, it doesn't help. Because the instance you got with a man, you were gay.
But that's your
and
understanding.
And the instance you got with a woman, you were hetero.
Yeah, but
you do both at the same time is what makes you bisexual.
It's other people's understanding of what you are.
Right, but
it's
you can't read.
You see yourself.
I understand what you want to internally define it as, but bisexual does mean both. It does.
Yeah, but at the same time,
you can't redefine. But no, what I'm saying is you can't redefine it. You can't redefine it. You can't. Well, you can't make it your own because it's already been defined. Bisexual means both. Bi meaning two.
Else, though.
Bi meaning two. Sexual. Bi meaning two. Sexual.
But
it's defined.
I can't go by your understanding of what that means. I can only define myself as I see myself. If I'm healthy,
right? But in literal terms, when you have sex with both sexes, you are doing it bifashionally, which means both. The minute you did sex with a man, you have a portion of you is gay. Period.
But see that word in today's
that's your brain chemistry trying to make it redefine to make you fit into a certain set to make you live better, to make you try to understand yourself better.
I think a part of me. And how I identify myself, rather, it doesn't.
I'm not even talking about the identification. You can identify with whatever, but the moment you did both is when you became both.
Yeah, but that's still your understanding. How I've decided to.
I see you keep using the word understanding.
What I am.
You keep using the word understanding.
I'm the last person
it's not my understanding. It's what is.
I'm the last person to defend the English language because I don't feel like it belongs to me. Also, I'm the same person that I don't like labels because it's for you to understand who I am, not for me to understand. So if I say I am this, that's what I am. And anything that you say,
that's what you identify. Right. Like I said, I'm not questioning the identity, what you identify as. I'm questioning the process.
I
the
don't think
process of
everybody is
you.
struggling with it. And I think his delivery, and he has media training, so that went into it. He's very articulate and very intelligent. That went into it. But I didn't get a sense from him that he was struggling with who he see himself as. It's
Mhm.
just now the struggle was, now I have to let you all know how I see myself.
Mhm.
And for many people, that's the struggle.
Right.
How I see myself is clear. But me now introducing that identity to you all, and then being put under that microscope and scrutiny of how you interpret what I say.
Mhm.
You know, this I'm not a person, and I'm an intelligent person, but this English language was not meant for us. So we hold on to definitions and usage of a word so tight until it's directed at us. And some people are
I would
comfortable
like
with
to
saying
interject.
I'm
I
gay.
mean, who was the English? I mean, if it wasn't meant for us,
I'm just saying when people get technical about definitions.
oh,
But at the same time, some people are comfortable with being labeled as simply gay.
mhm,
Some people want to be called lesbian or non-binary or
mhm,
trans, but that's their self-identity. And this is not a new thing. This is how people always, but it was just the outside always had the upper hand. And now that power is starting to shift a little bit. And now I'm able to self-identify myself as I see me, and not how the world chooses to see me.
mhm.
And what he said rang true to me personally, but it also, I believed him. I don't
No, I'm
reckon
not.
his
Yeah, I'm not
marriage.
denying anything that he said because I believe him too.
Mhm.
I also seen. So, um, yeah, I'll just leave it at that. So I'm not going to do this story right now because that's one of the biggest ones. So apparently, Ray J and Princess
Shift
Love
your
filed.
camera over.
Who? What?
Your camera.
Flip
Yeah,
it.
Your
that's me.
screen.
Flip it over.
Just tilt it a
Slide
little
it
bit.
over.
Am I crooked? What do you mean?
Yes.
Your beach scene is ending at some point.
Oh, but you can't see it. We're on the 3 screens now. Um,
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
yeah, I knew that when I just adjusted it just now when I fixed my light. Um,
All right. Now, what about Ray J?
Ray J filed for divorce from Princess Love.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not surprised at all.
He
At
says,
all.
I'm surprised that he did it.
Yeah, that's I'm like, what?
He says, his quote says, I went to God.
I think his mother
He said,
probably
it was just
got
how I
told.
felt at the time. I didn't really talk to nobody about it. I just went to God.
Okay.
And his mother, I think his mother, which is his
Sonya.
manager,
Good old Sonya.
finally got through to him.
It says the reality
Mhm.
star admitted, however, that he is still processing the move, saying that he hasn't had a chance to sit back and think about it during the interview on ET. I love her and I love my babies, and it's just personal. But she knows how I feel about her. I just think
How many kids they
that what
got?
I want make.
Too.
I just think that I want to make sure everybody is happy, that everybody enjoys life, and that this can help her smile more and enjoy who she is and enjoy her life. Sometimes it's the best thing to do.
I don't, that brand of TV makes my head hurt.
Mm-hmm.
But in what I've seen from it, she had this thing specifically for his family of exposing them. Like
Oh, they
I
wrongdoing. The wrongs that they do. That's what
I
she would expose.
don't even think it was just the wrongs, but that family has set themselves up in terms of they just don't want people to see what goes on inside of their home. And she was very comfortable with showing their
Uh-huh.
insecurities and their dark spots, but you never really saw her do that to herself. It was like she was
I mean,
always
I
in a
think it
way.
was just. I think she kind of like used him. I felt like she used him, and she just was like, anything she can do to get the spotlight. I felt like she did it.
Yeah.
Wow, y'all got it from a different. Y'all looking at it from a different perspective because every aspect of what he did was wrong to her. To me,
Right, but it's like, but she didn't let him breathe though. She was
let him
like,
breathe. He was a serial cheater.
I mean,
We don't know
I
that.
don't know.
No, he was an admitted serial cheater in his past relationships. So every time he would go,
I do know that him and Tierra Marie had a thing, and it was
during the course of their relationship.
Right. I do know that, but
even on the show, he represented himself as a cheater when he had all them strippers and stuff at that hotel room.
and
she bust in on them, and she bust in on the room, and he dancing and stuff, and she was like, "What are you doing?"
It's always interesting to me that we always see that perspective, but you knew who you were getting. You knew what you
but it became different when you married her. You did know who you was getting, but you also married me.
Yeah, but she also chose to marry him.
Right, but that's what divorce is for. I mean, I guess that's my perspective.
And I understand it. But sometimes as we get older, we feel the pressure to do certain things, especially as Black men. But at the same time, you knew he wasn't ready. You chose him because of what light he had around him, what he had in terms of influence.
That's what I say.
You chose that. You know, it's crazy because
I don't know about that because they didn't join the show as a couple.
No, but she knew who he was. We have to, and this, we have two Black women who are on this show, and I have a Black woman as a mother and sister, so I'm mindful of what I'm saying. But women are predators. I don't care what you say about it. I'm not saying all of them.
They do what they can do to get a dollar and get ahead.
That is true. That's true. Women are predatory. We are. We're very cunning when we want to be.
If they find a man with money, who's gonna let that go? I mean,
because Tierra wasn't trying to let it go. CC was not trying to let that go.
I mean, I'm not trying to take her for princess because I think she does have some faults, but she took a step back actually from the show to raise her children, and I don't know if you guys are clouding that because she wasn't even on the whole entire. She wasn't even on the whole entire season of Love and Hip Hop last year.
She's taken care of. So at this point, she just signed the boy. She got what she wanted.
But I guess I'm questioning what you guys are saying because the only thing that she represented on the show after they got married was that you are not spending no time with me and your children. And now y'all like throwing it back on her as if she was the one that was money grubbing. When the whole entire time she represented herself.
She was.
Even in her Instagram post, she only represented that he's not here. And that was the deterrence in their relationship is that he's never here. Yeah, he never comes home. He's gone weeks at a time.
You see that with people who are on TV. You see that with everyday couples. Like people,
right? But isn't it different when you've actually made a commitment and got married that you are supposed to come home at some point in time and be with your wife?
If he didn't commit to you as a single man, marrying him or getting him to marry you is not going to change him.
That is true.
And that's the thing that and we see that in a lot of other...
but who,
a lot of
so I guess my question to that is who is, if you spending time with your children is not the result of, is not the, I don't even know what I'm trying to say now at this point, because I'm so baffled that y'all completely turned this on the wife, the one that was just asking and demanding respect and that you come home, and that's her fault. And then it made her, and then the statement was mentioned that she's being predatory, like because she had two of your kids. Now she's the predator.
I said it in a general statement. Like I feel like a lot of women specifically who get on those types of shows who. You do all the things to get him,
right? But did she represent herself as a predator? That's what I'm trying to get at. Like you say, she
predatory behavior.
At first, it seemed like to me when she first got on there, I took it. She came off as a little gold diggerish because it was like you seen him desperate. I understand you may like him or whatever the case may be, but again, you know how he is. You know his past. It's nothing different that he's doing. He's still doing whatever it is. So you think getting married is going to change him or make him commit to you, and it's not. It didn't. You got 2 kids by this man. At the end of the day, she got what she wants. She got the money. She got the name. She got her name out there. She the fame or whatever, she got kids, so she's gonna be taken care of regardless. So what?
And
More?
this whole
I'm
imagery,
just trying to figure out. That was just me trying to gaze into y'all brains on marriage. Period. Like you
but
accept
marriage
him.
doesn't make
You
you
ex-
like
you-
it's serious.
but I'm
Just
saying,
No,
like,
I have
children
different
make
I
views
don't
on
understand.
marriage.
Like, I just believe that we're too accepting that because his life was this kind of way before he got married, that it was
It's
supposed to
not
trickle into his
accepting.
marriage
It's not.
life,
It's
like he's a
the
child.
responsibility. The reason a lot of the responsibility goes on to her because she went into this and it's clear. It's the objective is clear.
Right, but
wanted
you're
somebody with
absconding
status.
him
She
of
could have
his
married somebody that
responsibility.
wasn't.
You're
She could have
absconding him of his
clearly
responsibility, and his responsibility was be the husband and the father to her children. And now
true.
it's like,
That's
okay, so he
true.
would just because
That's
he was
true.
this person before they got married. That's
That's
okay for him to
true.
be that person later. That's
That's
not
very
okay.
true.
And if
It's
it was
very
happening, I
true.
wonder if it was
But
happening to you,
if Ray
would
J
you
was
feel
the
that
only
way?
deadbeat, if he was the only deadbeat father in the world, I
So
would
let me ask
100%
this
agree with
question,
you.
Lindsay,
Yeah.
because she's quiet. If a man came into your life and you knew he was a certain kind of way before you married him, and then you married him, are you still expecting him to be that person after you married him?
No,
I
me.
have enough. I have enough
I
wisdom.
mean, because
to know.
I would hope you would
I
think
have
he would
enough wisdom
evolve
to
when y'all
know.
became a partnership.
I have seen other people's marriages, okay,
Mhm.
and I've seen my friends get married and think that it was going to change their partner, and it didn't. It didn't. It didn't change him.
Mhm.
It did not change them. And I watched friends' hearts break over this shit.
Mhm.
Like, watch their hearts break because of it, because they thought it was supposed to. It is supposed to be different, but more often than not, it's not any different. It's not.
So
But
who's
so
at?
if
I
a man
mean,
came
so
into
then
my
the
life
question
and
is,
I was with him,
who's
I would
at fault
divorce
in
his
that
ass.
situation?
A
Who
marriage
becomes at
certificate
fault at
is
that
not
situation?
a magic wand.
Right.
to
I'm
make
not
you
saying
grow
that.
up.
I'm talking about evolution. Once you became a unit,
Okay,
it is
so
some kind of evolution that's supposed to happen.
I
here.
understand what you're saying. I get what you're
Like, so
saying.
who
but
then?
I
Who
think
is at
marriage
You
fault?
should marry the person who you want to be with, not marry the person and then try
who
to
you
change
hope
them
them to
into who
be.
you
Center
want them to
yourself,
be.
Nate.
Yeah, who you hope for them to be. I agree
Yeah,
with
you
that.
gotta
Yeah.
marry the person you
I
want.
just feel like they both had fault, to be honest.
Center yourself,
Yeah,
Nate.
and I'm not. And
Nate.
what I just said
Nate.
was,
Nate.
if
Nate. Nate. Nate.
Ray
Nate.
J was the only,
Nate. Center yourself.
yeah.
You cut off.
But what I was saying, if Ray J was the only deadbeat in the world, I would 100% agree.
Mhm.
But history has shown us you have to marry the person you want. A marriage certificate does not mean you're going to grow up. Just like having children or being rich and famous is not going to make you a better person.
Yeah, I know. I
have
agree
a-
with all of that. I'm talking about the fault in the situation, though,
I
because
think they
all we
both at
said,
fault.
we're all talking about that she might be a gold digger, but she had money before she came into this environment.
She had no
So
damn money.
Oh,
yes, she
I
did.
know
Her
that, but
parents
I
are
She
think
very
had a way
wealthy.
to get money.
Her parents are
She had
very
a way to
wealthy,
get
actually.
money.
Her parents are very wealthy.
She had a way
Actually.
to get money.
There's some kind of
I
furniture.
didn't know that part of
Her parents are
I
some
just
kind of
know
furniture
her-
czars.
Again, she was not wealthy. She had a way to get money, whether it's that going to her parents or being the cute girl on the arm. She knew how to get money. That is a big difference having your own money and knowing how to get money.
I don't know about that. I mean, that's what
Right.
the whole show, all the
Okay,
shows are
so
basically
listen.
about people being heiresses and shit. So
Mm.
Can I say
We will
something?
see when she get that settlement, how much money she had coming into it.
Right. Okay, so listen, let me say something. I was watching this movie and it was a preacher and he fell in love with a crackhead.
mhm.
So he married her. Yeah, a crackhead. She was an addict. He married her and they had kids. For a while, she changed in his eyes. But behind the scenes, she was sneaking and still shooting up and snorting and everything.
Is this New
That's
Jack
what
City?
crackheads did.
Right. But in his eyes,
you can
he
say the name
thought
of the
she was on
movie.
the straight and narrow because she was the first lady and she was doing everything in his eyes. You know what I mean? So then it ended up happening to where she ended up back in the mess. He found her tricking She ended up in the
This sounds like you're talking about New Jack City. Is that New Jack City you're talking about?
No, it's not.
I mean, come on.
No,
but at the end of the day, what I'm trying to say is, you asked. I mean, at the end of the day, like, okay, he got in the marriage thinking he was gonna change her, but it never changed her.
Mm-hmm.
It never did nothing, but made it worse.
Functional. She became functional. It didn't change.
A functional addict, basically. But I just felt like, I mean, I don't know the side of her family and wealthy and all this. I just know what I've seen, and the things that I seen with her is saying like she was gold digging, and that she wanted everything to be about her. He couldn't be around his friends. When he was around his friends, she would pop up. So I don't. That's just what I.
But is that gold digging when you know who? See, I mean, I guess you could turn it back around.
Like if you
could probably turn it back around on me and say, well, you knew he was like that. But at the same time, when you, I don't get that. Like if you met somebody at the club and you know they go to the club every week, but you know you marry them later on, you don't expect them to still keep going to the club every single week. We got family things to do.
No, when you marry them, no.
Right. So why would we not expect him to evolve again when he became a father and a parent and a husband? That's what I'm trying to get at. Like, why are we not looking at this?
Are you the same person you are in a relationship as you are single?
I'm not. No, I'm not.
So that's your evolution. That's what you choose to do in your growth. But everybody is not like that. And we're not saying that Ray J was right or wrong. Like I don't think
that's what but that's what I'm asking. Who was right and who was wrong in the situation?
Because like Princess played a part.
Because all I know is in the past couple of media stories that have come out, and I'm just going to talk from the media perspective, that she was asking him to come home. Come home.
But you know what?
But why would you be? Let me just say this. Okay. As somebody who was in a long-term relationship, 15, 16 years, that stayed off of social media with it. Why would you go on social media and ask your mate to come home? Like, I'm not doing that shit.
But I think she's doing that. Part of it is because she's doing that because that's where he is. He's always on social media and doing something.
Married into
and
then she married into a very private family, a very private family.
Which is why I asked in the beginning. I wonder why she wasn't the one to file for divorce, because if you haven't gotten what you wanted,
she did before, and then they had reconciled. What I understand, they reconciled, and he came home and tried to make it work, but I don't think Princess ever had an understanding that in order to uphold his lifestyle, he had to work.
But it's not just work that he be doing, though.
But
that's the problem. I think that's the problem.
Honestly, we don't know that.
We don't know that. You're absolutely right. But in his history, and all the females that he's been with, when he hits the club scene, it doesn't never just turn into him hitting the club scene and coming home. It hits him hitting the club scene and ending up at a hotel with a whole bunch of chicks and alcohol and drugs, and then coming home
that his brand,
after that.
It's no secret that he's made that his brand. And when you get with somebody, you should get with somebody who has the qualities that you want. And he had certain qualities that she wanted: fame, a little bit of money, influence. But you know, all the other stuff, like, once I put it on him, he ain't gonna want to go out. Like that's
but see, I don't know if that was the case, because we keep saying that like she met him before the show, and that wasn't the case. She was on the show, they got together.
But she knew who he was before the show.
Right, great.
She knew who he was.
I'll give you that.
She didn't just be introduced to him.
Who didn't? Yeah,
she knew. She knew about your relationship and
because it was at one point that she was one of those chicks.
They was plotting to get rid of her. Then
she was a chick. At one point, she was one of those chicks. I think he was with Tierra Marie when he met Princess. So at one point, she was a side chick too.
Yes, she was. Yeah, because he was with Tierra for a long time.
Yeah, he was lying to Tierra. I mean, but you lose them how you get them. Again, it goes right back to you lose them how you got them. So,
right. But I think that
he wanted
Tierra
pretty
was the only one that had him at least a little bit contained.
Yeah, well, he wanted pretty baby. She wanted a pretty penny. Everyone's going to be happy. They're all going to have more money than we have. And
we don't know that
right now. I mean, at least right now.
That is kind of true. He did. They did just release that he got $1 billion. He that little earphone company is making bank.
Yeah,
it's like $500 million.
Yeah, but he's also got a couple of new shows that he posted now.
I don't care about his shows.
That boy
I'm
stays
just
working,
saying,
boy.
I don't.
Nah, we might take a trip to LA.
I've been trying to get to LA,
So just moving
I'm
on
not trying to
to,
get to LA.
some
Not right now. Not right now. Not while it's burning.
just moving on to some little better some better news, because I like these two people. Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos, they started this scholarship fund where they're going to
how
send
much you been done that?
20 homeless people, 20 homeless students. They're going to get scholarships, which entail they'll receive a laptop and $2,000 to go to any school they towards their education.
That's gonna be real good for that first semester.
Well, it's for people that want to do online learning anyway. So the laptop is so you can do school from home during the coronavirus pandemic.
Oh,
Still gotta buy them books. That $2,000 will be book fees.
Is it virtual books?
Still need books. In college, you still need books. I hope you do.
Oh yeah, I guess what the $2,000 will go towards it. Hopefully, you're already in college, and this will just go towards some of your bills, basically. Because $2,000 ain't nothing to go to school. It ain't nothing to start school on.
No, that's gonna be gone that first semester.
That's what I'm saying. As long as you're already in school, this $2,000 could come in handy. So get to applying. I don't know how to apply for it though. Look up Kelly Ripa. Go to her social media. If you need the scholar, you want some coin. I guess you got to prove that you don't have no house, so put some cardboard on your walls. Say homeless. It say homeless. It says.
oh my God!
Providing college scholarships to 20 homeless students. So
damn, they got enough to do more than 20. Oh, now stop being stingy.
So as long as they, all right. So look, another one that's filed for divorce being Offset.
Heard about that.
I seen it, but I just skimmed past it. I didn't know.
I couldn't really. I didn't like. I want to know what happened. One.
He cheated.
He's still cheating
again. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, again. Yeah. She just had enough. I'm dealing with that.
See, I mean, but there's another situation.
You said what?
There's another one. This is similar again.
But I think he chased her.
No, I don't think this is similar. I think it's a little bit different. Just a little bit.
Why
different.
Is it different? He cheated too. He was who
he
was before.
Many times as Ray J.
But he was who he was before too. So why is this not the same?
But he was at home though. But he was at home.
So he cheated at the house? He brought the girls to the house and cheated with him?
I'm just saying he came home. Cardi not on social media telling.
Let me tell you something. Cardi is a Libra like me. We don't talk about.
But see, I think the difference between her and Cardi is busy, so she wasn't worried about him actually coming home. I don't believe he was coming home every night.
Yeah, like she's not going to talk about that. She's just going to get her coin and divorce.
Right, and then just send you. I'm just going to divorce you this time because she did do a lot of screaming about him the first time.
Yeah,
the first time, and then he publicly apologized in the middle of her.
Yeah,
but see, that's why I say this is similar because Ray J did the same thing when he made that mistake. He publicly apologized, talking about "I love you." He did all of that, and then still did the same thing. Like
I gave her out because he loved her, and he know that he can't be the man that she wants.
Right.
Yeah, that's what.
That's why I say I feel as though Princess was in that same place where. She was like, I understand this is who he is, but this is not what I signed up for, and now I want out. That's what that's why I'm trying to figure out the definition of him filing for divorce versus her filing for divorce. But you said she did it before. I didn't even know that.
Yeah,
so
I didn't know that.
That's what I was trying to get at with that discussion about them two, because like this is a similar situation. They both cheating on their women.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
But I think I took what you guys were saying a different way because it sounded like y'all were blaming her. Like, how's this my damn fault? I'm just sitting here being the wife and having these babies. Like, how y'all gonna blame me for this nigga doing what the fuck he want to do while I'm sitting at home raising these kids and they don't know who their daddy is because he ain't never here.
At least they know who their grandma and grandpa.
I mean, y'all straight up hit the hammer on her head. She's a gold digger. La la la. Like, damn, I'm the one having this is my pussy.
You think Cardi and Offset Money and Offset both have a name. I don't know who Princess is, only by Ray J. You know what I mean? So you say, "Oh yeah, Princess," I'm like, "Who the fuck is that?" Ray J girl. Oh, Ray J girl.
Any other show, I would have said, "Yeah, I don't know who Princess is." I probably wouldn't have had to talk about the story, but I
Ray
actually
J
do.
Like Cardi.
I actually did follow a little bit of her story, especially that special they had when they were coming back together and they was doing the baby shower and all that kind of stuff. And then even in that show, he left town and almost missed the baby shower.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh my gosh.
At least Offset made an effort to be at
effort, girl.
No, God,
I'm just saying.
No, God, please, no.
Jesus, I say that.
No, you're not gonna tell me he tried to. No, we're not gonna say he had a chance. He gave a chance. Who he giving a chance to? You're the one that's doing the corruption.
Listen, David, I'm trying to work with him.
You tried, but he gonna have to pay up in court.
I'm with them. Like, I thought they was so good together.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, well, what goes on, and they were on recently. They were on TikTok or something recently, happy, and they were talking about how people can, seem like they're happy, and then it not be real on social media.
At some point in life, you will have to explain to your children why the marriage didn't work, and that's going to be disappointing to hear.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because now that's his fourth baby's mother.
And possibly you won't even have to explain to it because they're going to find it on the internet first, and then you have to explain.
Exactly. But
you cheated on mom?
He's still going to be around. I think he's still going to be around. They're just not going to be married.
I just watched the Tyler Perry play last night, the last one, the final play.
With TT?
With TT.
Yeah, I saw that.
I just watched that last night, right?
I didn't even watch it.
And it made me think. Now it's making me think of that. It just made me think of that because the father cheated on their mother with the best friend, and TT and the son were upset about their father and didn't want anything to do with the father. That's what this is giving me. Memories of like wait a minute, I just popped in my head just now, like, wait a minute, did I just watch a story like this yesterday?
I just feel like Offset to be there, but Ray J won't. Ray J gonna be like, okay, you raise the kids, I'll just pay for it. But I think Offset gonna want to be in his kid, at least Cardi's kid life.
Well, he's in all his children's lives,
right? I'm just saying, I feel like he's gonna be there. I just don't feel like Ray J gonna make an effort. He gonna be like, all right, whatever.
What kind of bastard do you have to be to fuck it up with Cardi B?
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, let me get at her.
Oh shit! No,
the hottest. I mean, the bitch that just overtook Nicki Minaj's crown as the lead in hip hop, and this is the one you gonna fuck over? That don't make sense. It doesn't make sense to me. Y'all just became hip hop royalty, really.
And listen, she is Spanish too.
That's what that too, and the fact that she got the stripper moves. Like, who did that other bitch that you just risked it all for do it better than her?
Exactly, because I know she be bouncing in.
I got questions. Offset, give me a call. It's 443-642-9403. I want to know: did that pussy
Cardi give me a call?
Make you do a cartwheel? Because I just don't understand. Like, how do you risk it all? Like, did she make you mad that night and you just like, fuck it, I'm just gonna.
So let me ask you a question. Because okay, do you think this is real? Because a lot of people do this for stunts and tabloids and stuff, and it really don't be real.
Well, what makes it real is that what makes it real is that you filed it. You actually did file it.
But a lot of people do that. A lot of people say
they do, but then they come back and reconcile, which is a difference. You don't ever want love to die. But this is not just the first time. This is now the second time.
Yeah, and
possibly this is the second time that we know of. Because we don't know. They probably. I got them having threesomes. I got them having group sex or something like that. I picture that. Because they always got a whole bunch of people in their house. I think things go down in the bedroom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. I just listen.
I just don't understand. Like when you got to the point and you said, "I'm going to take this outside. I'm going to go have a person alone." Is the problem that I'm having? Because I believe they like invite other men. They probably invite other women into their bedroom, like, and she's probably open to that. But she has a problem when you start doing it singly.
Yeah.
Because now you might fall in love with this bitch, and that's a problem.
Yeah, see, that's the problem. I'm not, when I get married, if I get married, I'm not sharing my partner openly with nobody. I'm not doing that. I'm doing that stupid shit. Woo, I'm not doing that. I'm not no dumb bitch. I know how it goes down. It's bad enough you gotta worry about somebody behind your back, let alone in front of your face.
I'm too conniving. I'm too conniving to have somebody do something like that to me.
Yeah, me too.
Because that's all. I think you've wounded me, but you wounded me without blood, and now I have to retaliate. That's the Scorpio in me. I have to sting you now. Thanks. Get ready.
Yeah. I know all about that brutality. I know all about that bullshit.
I don't know.
I know all about that bullshit.
I just know
all about that bullshit. Scorpio
it's now time to retaliate.
I just know a lot of the celebrities do that. You know what I'm saying? Just for their brand and stuff. So I don't know if I hope it's not real.
Which is why now you see why me and Lindsay were just talking about this before the show about somebody else. Now you see why I do radio silence, because I don't want to have to retaliate. Radio silence is best for me. You was like, did you talk to this search so and so? No, never again. I will never fucking talk to your bitch ass again.
Yeah. Mine is on one tonight.
That's out. That's out of the question. I don't want nothing else to do with you. Have a great life.
What happened?
And enjoy. Oh no, we still talking about this marriage stuff.
You mad?
No.
You married?
Oh, I'm not married.
Oh,
please, child. Let somebody cheat on me. All these walls, this green paper right here would be red. It would be the green screen. You see the blood stains.
I don't think it's real.
What happened? You don't think it's real?
I don't think it's real.
You don't want to believe it's real, but people.
You don't want to. You're a fan of their couple of their coupledom. Are you a fan of their coupledom?
I am. I am.
I became a fan of their couple. I'll admit that I became a fan of their coupledom because they seemed like they enjoyed each other. Even when he cheated on her the first time and they came back together, it still looked like symmetry. Like they came back and was still enjoying each other. But then I was still looking at them like, with the side eye.
Yeah, me too. But you know, a lot of celebrities do it for like clout and for their brand to get more views or whatever. So I don't know. She don't need more views. She's Cardi. Right?
So, all right, let's move on. Roy Jones Jr.
All day.
Roy Jones Jr. said he may have made a mistake in agreeing to fight Mike Tyson.
And I love Roy Jones. That's one of my crushes. I love him. I love his laugh.
It says 2 months ahead of their scheduled head-to-head boxer, Roy Jones has admitted that he may have made a mistake when he agreed to fight in an exhibition with former heavyweight champ Mike Tyson. According to reports, Jones and Tyson were originally supposed to fight this month, but promoters pushed the exhibition back to attract a larger audience. Ain't nobody coming.
Listen.
Not in person. Y'all better pay-per-view the shit out of that and put some speakers in the audience.
He better put on some earmuffs.
Like you can hear people.
Tie them ears down.
The duo is set to compete in an unofficial bout on November 28th in Carlson, California. But over the weekend, the former 4-weight world champion boxer expressed reservations about fighting the 54-year-old heavyweight champion, who he knows who takes it easy on him. He said who he knows won't take it easy on him.
And he's still fighting though.
But why would you admit somebody's taking it easy on you? That's cheating. So if that's what they trying to say for him getting hit, they paid somebody.
He's fighting for this.
That's kind of making it alleged that he may have taken a pay to.
Why don't he retire already? He done took a man's
He
years
has
to go.
He did
has
retire. He's
retired.
coming back from retirement saying he
Yeah.
still has it. That's what he's saying. I still got it.
No.
He said when it comes,
Bunny
Keep
Ranch
making
and everything.
movies.
he said when it
He's
comes,
just in a Tyler Perry movie. Keep making movies. No.
no. No. When it comes time to fight, we're going to fight, Jones said. If it comes down to a see, he tried to be funny. If it comes down to bite, we're going to bite. I guess because this is unofficial and there's no real boxing rules, I guess. So biting must be included. So he said whatever has to happen is going.
Nobody can hear you.
He said, whatever is going to happen is going to happen. That's just what it is. He then added, he's still Mike Tyson. He's still one of the strongest, most explosive people who have ever touched a boxing ring. If anything, I made a mistake going with him. He's the bigger guy. He's the explosive guy.
Yes, he is. It's true.
He then said he's going to have all he's going to have all the first round fireworks, not me. I do have the first round fireworks, but he's known for more first round fireworks than anybody to ever touch boxing, other than George Foreman.
What about Muhammad Ali?
I think he's talking about living.
Oh, okay.
He says with him having the first round fireworks, he'll be against a guy smaller than him, maybe by 40 to 50 pounds smaller than him. But that makes a difference.
So what is fireworks? First round fireworks. What does that mean?
The explosive of your punches, because you
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's before your time. But
Yeah,
Tyson,
when you
beast.
You know, if you know Mike Tyson, how Mike Tyson fight, he fights very explosive in the beginning because he wants to do a first round knockout.
Yeah,
that's how he operates. Because see, that is way before your time. Because if you ain't never played, Mike Tyson's Knockout.
Yeah.
on Nintendo.
My ex played it, so I would watch it, but I'm not a Mike Tyson fan.
Yeah, but if you played Mike Tyson in Mike Tyson's Knockout, you definitely were supposed to get the knockout in the first round. It wasn't supposed to go past that.
Yeah, I did.
And that was written behind him because he was the knockout king. He like knock you out in first round. That's what he did. So he would come in with all those attacks. And then, look, I still know the motions.
I know he normally don't go past. Yeah. Listen.
That's how it went. Oh, Nintendo.
You gonna watch it?
Probably not. I'm not a fan of boxing.
I'm not a fan either. Lindsay, you watched it?
I just need to know who wins so I can report it on Tuesday.
I'm gonna watch it if it comes out. I'll probably watch it with my people.
I'm not a fan of boxing. I mean, I know who Mike Tyson is, but I'm not a fan of boxing. Yeah, he's cool. I'm not a fan of boxing.
Yeah, I don't like what it does to the brain and stuff.
And I used to watch the WWE with The Rock. That's how I watched it when he left. I stopped watching it. Yeah. I said WWE.
I said that's wrestling for the audience who don't know what WWE is.
Oh, yeah.
That's not a common phrase around these parts.
I miss him. But I watch him on Jumanji, so it's fine.
Jumanji.
I love The Rock. I love him.
That's what I'm saying. I love me some Dwayne Johnson.
Yeah,
so the Fox reporter Tucker Carlson, I hate him as a person, as a human, as a body, as a soul.
Tucker Carlson, okay.
And most people will be like, well, do you hate him or do you dislike him? No, I hate him. He's useless.
Why?
He's useless to me. So here's what he says. If we're going to survive as a country, we must defeat Black Lives Matter.
Talk about Black Lives Matter on the show.
How can we defeat that?
Why would we defeat it? That's not the question. Why would we defeat it?
Well, I mean, but
because we're in a state of unification, and they're scared of that.
Mm-hmm.
They're scared of that.
But I think it's more than that. I think is purposefully being done this way.
Mm-hmm.
And many of the mistakes were on our behalf for opening it up. They should have made this, as me and Monty talked before, they should have made this into a nonprofit or organization from the conception. And because leaving it open for people to interpret it, or these anarchists, and now black anarchists and black conspiracy theorist individuals to kind of use the name and the title for their own, need and the thing intentions is now they're purposely doing this. They did the same thing to many of our black organizations, like the Black Panthers. They did the same thing. And the fact that we're as many of us that are now speaking out on it because it's lesbian created and brand now.
There's a lot of lesbian created that.
Say that again.
There's a lot of things that are lesbian created that people support and don't know they're supporting.
Yeah, but it's crazy, and I think we read a passage of the mission statement the other week, and it's making me angry because these same people who have been walking around for almost 5, 6, 7 years now with Black Lives Matter on their shirts and bumper stickers are now, denouncing it. And they see what's going on. Like I'm trying to get into the psyche of these black people who are now turning against black culture when it comes to politics and race and culture and protesting. Like, what are they drinking? Like, what are they eating? I don't want to eat those things. I don't want to be a part of those things. It just feels crazy to me. It does. Like, it's crazy.
Oh yeah, we just talked about that the other day, didn't we?
Yeah, like with what Mimi and her friend was talking about last week.
Oh yeah,
like,
that's what it was.
Crazy to me.
Yeah.
And it's coming from a section of the population that don't contribute already. Like you don't vote, you probably don't pay taxes, you don't take care of your children, like none of these things you do already. And you are the reason you are curving the vote.
Right.
I only left that out there for y'all because I can't talk about Tucker. I already said what I said. I hate him.
Is he black?
No, he's white.
Oh well, he don't count.
Of course he is.
But I don't like him. I never did. I never could.
Black Lives Matter, the name made it to the White House door. And I think that's when people were like, whoa, wait a minute. This is powerful. The mayor put it there.
And now it's on every city street.
Yeah. I mean,
all of a sudden now it's bad.
Right. And it's on everybody's street.
Like I said,
it's on everybody's
George Floyd. Until there's another George Floyd. We've already had another George Floyd.
Right.
Last week.
It's not going to stop. Right.
Again. So it's just, black people, sometimes we are guilty of riding the wave. We do that a lot. We like instant gratification and things like that. We don't like to stay around for the long haul with things and causes and issues and
He's lazy.
Now we're militant.
Yeah. We're selective in our anger and our outrage. We
emotional.
And I don't even think we're emotional anymore. I think we are emotional trying to get them to understand it. But many of us now, like, we don't use our brains. We all for self. And the one thing that I say to a lot of people who are now arguing against Black Lives Matter as people of color, I hope that $1,200 was worth your child's future or lack thereof, or your grandmother's or grandfather's lack of a Social Security check or Medicaid in the next couple of years. I hope that is worth that. I hope that you being in the poorhouse or you being on a new, plantation, it was worth it. I hope that $1,200 really was worth it for you to choose dum-dum.
Yeah.
Dumb.
All right, look, the phone lines are open here. 443-642-9403. It's Talk Lately. So today, this is what's interesting about this is that not everybody's in the uproar. Most people applauded. Then there were the boo sayers because Kamala Harris stepped off her jet with Timberlands on.
Well, were they Chuck Taylors or were they Chuck Taylors or Timberlands?
I can't tell from this picture. Like one of them looked like a Tim.
I think they were Chuck Taylors, or she been wearing tennis shoes a lot.
Her niece said
Like
they were
tennis
Tims
shoes.
though. So she said, "Hey, Auntie, with the Tims."
I think it was because the last image I saw, she had on Chuck Taylors because she was on an interview. They were talking to her about it, but she likes tennis shoes. She's a tennis shoe type of person.
And I was like, "Wow, what's the big deal about her wearing the Tims though?" Because she was going to check out the fires. I'm putting on some combat boots too.
It's the same
She's supposed to be in heels at all times. It's that image. She's supposed to be in heels at all times.
Right, but not in the combat field. Come on.
It don't matter.
She should have had on a flannel with that Tims. She should have put a flannel shirt on with her Tims.
It's that image.
But the image of what? The image.
She was wearing?
What you saying that though, right? What's the image that you're talking about? A
because
human?
it's like when people think of people in politics, they think of the 3-piece suit. You know what I'm saying?
Right, but this is like you're going to a national.
Like that, you know what I mean?
There's never been a president in history that's gone to a national disaster site in a 3-piece suit.
I'm just saying.
They dress down in White House garb.
If people are having a problem with her wearing Tims, like what's the problem? That's what I want.
Well, it's, like I said, it's not the majority of people. It was only a certain select of people booing, and they more than likely weren't black.
That's what I'm saying. But those are the ones that affect that image.
It's the same group of people.
Now I wonder if the talk about Timberlands is going to come back up about the tree thing and the fact that the history behind the Timberland.
You just put it out there. Now somebody gonna take.
I'm bringing it back up. I'm bringing it back up. We got to talk about it. We're in a race war. We're in a race war right now. So,
but it's just in a lot of these things, like the tree and the news. A lot of that stuff is our insecurities painting pictures.
Yes,
and it's crazy. Like we create narratives off of anything, any soundbite that goes out there and circulates. I
thought it was cute. And when she stepped off the plane, I was like, yes, Vice President.
That shows that she's a practical person. She's not going to be having high heel shoes on at 9 o'clock.
Why would you wear high heel shoes on an airplane anyway? Like, come on. Take them off and put them in the bag and sit still.
But it's the same. I mean, look what they did to Hillary. They made Hillary out to be some stud.
Some lesbian, some bull day.
Like, and it was crazy. Like the same thing that they did to Barack when he wore the tan suit, and then you saw all these other presidents that had the same tan suit at some point.
They made it seem like Hillary was gonna pull her sports bra off.
Yeah, this lady is 60-some years old. Why would she have on high heel shoes? She had on kitten heels.
She bought Trump kitten heels.
Yeah, like.
Money is frozen.
I love them kitten heels. Them kitten heels make him stand forward.
I can't.
I swear, I think there's something wrong with that man back. That man back. I think he had. You know what I think? He probably had instead of trying to act like he had bone spurs to get out of the war, he could have just admitted he had scoliosis because I think that's what it was in his back.
Well, he should have just said he was gay. Like, just say you gay, and that would have
that too
qualified me.
Maybe we would have if he would have said that, we would have never heard of him again.
Yeah,
you would.
That's true.
He would have paid his way out of it somehow, like he's doing right now.
Yeah.
So, a black man sues cops after being mistaken for a burglar at his own Wisconsin home.
Mm-hmm.
It says a black man is suing 2 Wisconsin police officers after he was mistaken for a burglar and handcuffed in his home, according to a lawsuit filed this week. Keontae no, that's too many letters. Had been living with a friend in Monona. I'm trying to figure out where Monona is.
Never heard of it.
It's in Wisconsin, though.
Florida.
Monona police officers Jared Wadig and Luke Wunsch pointed their guns and went inside the home without knocking or getting permission. Wow, yeah. Sue down.
Yeah, because
Yes.
we don't play with that stuff because John Boston got killed over that. You know, that
Breonna
ain't.
It says
Taylor.
Fridge was handcuffed and released when the officers realized it was a misunderstanding. No, I ain't misunderstand.
No.
I actually really understand. Fridge is suing the city of Monona and the officers. I want to know how much. That's undisclosed.
I take their whole picture and everything.
It says a neighbor called 911 and said it was suspicious when she saw an African American wearing sweatpants, flip flops, and a white shirt.
Oh my God,
All the races, and a white shirt sitting on the front steps of the home. Is she a neighbor, or did he just move here? What is going on? I don't get it.
Obviously, he must have just moved there if the neighbor called.
I bet you're my neighbor. Like, you don't know I live here? Like,
that's what I'm saying. You don't know your neighbors by now?
The neighbors told the police that the former owner of the house died and the house had been empty. Oh, okay. So she didn't know the neighbor. According to a police department news release, she did identify the individual sitting in the front of the home as African American. However, that was not conveyed to the responding officers. I don't believe that. Because they usually do. Because how do you know who you're looking for if you didn't give them that description?
Not unless you just say that house is empty and someone's in it.
But she said they were sitting on the steps.
Right, but she was known for that house to be empty, so apparently she
right. So what? But if the person was sitting on the steps, what made you break in to go inside?
Right. Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
According to the police, because it could have been the realtor. It could have been the damn realtor. How you know? How you know that black man? That black man sitting on the steps in his sweatpants, white tee, and jean. No, what do he have on? Hold on.
A white tee.
And his flip flops. He had on sweatpants, flip flops, and a white shirt. How you know he wasn't the realtor?
Not just like that.
Huh? I can sell houses any way I want to, Naya. You can't tell me what to wear.
Right.
Yeah, but it had nothing to do.
I'm just here to sell the house. I'm not selling my outfit.
Yeah, but we keep on pinpointing what they said he had on. That had nothing to do with it. It was clear. Like it had nothing to do with what this man had on. She probably had on a damn house dress. Like herself.
Yeah, gown.
Stuff like, I mean,
no, but he was a black man sitting on the steps of an empty house where the man died. The people died recently.
Right, but he ain't died from the black man with his flip flops on.
Right, but she knew the house was empty, so you see a black man.
But that's my point. That's my point. So she expected the people. The man's dead now, so she expected the house just to be empty forever.
Right.
Or
right. I hope nobody come up in here.
See, once again, I wish.
They can come up in here and think somebody think I'm walking around just to be walking around. They can try to if they want to, but I know my rights.
I said, I grew up in a home where we had guns, and I said to myself, I don't want to live like that. I just don't want to live like that. And I know how to shoot a gun, and I'm at a point right now where I feel like me being a black man living in a surrounding downtown community with a lot of hippies and a lot of, white individuals, I feel more safe and more comfortable living with one. And because at some point we're going to have to begin to shoot and ask questions later, and once they see us doing,
I told you that's when that will be the launch of the Civil War Part 2.
It's gonna have to be that because we can't even. It was already unsafe for us to be walking the streets,
and I keep trying to I keep trying to say this because this today is a different time than the 1960s.
Yeah. Yeah,
definitely.
When we would cower. When we would cower at the sight of a white officer. When we would cower at the sight of a white person that will point at you you're not supposed to be sitting at this counter. Those days are gone. Yeah. Today is a different day.
Yep.
And these niggas ready to fight. I'm sorry.
I mean, but those people exist.
I'm just saying. I'm serious. I mean that.
That's what when I hear these stories. I'm a person that's not afraid to fight, but my first instinct isn't to necessarily fight or be violent. Rather,
mine either.
Because these aren't just stories that we're hearing about anymore. It's starting to happen to us. Like
it's getting too close.
Every day,
it's starting to get very close.
It's beyond close at this point. Like it's getting to a point. I'm somebody who has never even had detention before. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying that doesn't make me a good person or makes me a good person, but I'm saying I've been put into situations living in the neighborhood that I've chosen to live in so I can be safe and feel safe. Mm-hmm. And I'm being made to be like a target. Mm-hmm. It just happened not too long ago. An Asian man, he was standing on a bus stop and he got robbed. Literally, it was right in front of me. So the man who robbed him had no intentions of touching me. He went to who he thought was the most vulnerable. And when the police got there, it was an idea of, what did you see? And I'm telling them what I saw. I'm trying to help the man out. And he asked me for my identification. And I was like, for what? I just told you what I saw.
Oh, this
so
is one
his attitude became
Philly?
More about whether I had something to do with it versus me giving this man. We were both standing, waiting on a shuttle. Mm-hmm. So what the hell would I have involved? Like in my mind, I'm like, I just saw somebody get fucked up and robbed right in front of me.
Right.
But then
we're being made to be the
right. Yeah, so then that goes back to: do you say something? You see something, you say something, or do you just?
And that's why we don't say anything. And I said that to the officer. Mm-hmm. I said that's why people don't speak up, because you make them out to be a criminal, and we don't want to be on a testifying board against. We don't want to do that because you don't have our back.
Mm-hmm. No, not at all.
Protected.
Right.
Not at all.
I was actually on the phone. I was actually on the phone today with one of my clients, and he was being harassed by the police. And then it went from him being harassed to them arresting his child's mother. Mm. They arrested the baby's mama because he wouldn't tell what her name was. So they arrested her.
Oh, because she refused to give up her name too.
She refused to give up her name, so they asked him. And they said, if you don't give up her name, we're going to arrest her. All because the officer said that she was beating a child. What happened was the baby grabbed her hair. She, grabbed the baby's hand and was picking out the hair from the hands, the fingers.
Oh, because he wouldn't let go.
Yeah, it's just she let, because she wouldn't. So when she got the fingers out, she was like, no, don't do that. And the police said that she beat the little girl. I was on the phone during the whole thing.
Quiet as a kept, right? That little girl needed her ass beat, apparently.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. But the lady didn't. She didn't. The girl, the mother of the child didn't beat her. She was like, no, you don't do that. Because they was driving in the car.
I'd have demonstrated for the officers and everything. Sorry, let me show you what happened. Let me tell you what happened. She grabbed my hair like this.
But the officer didn't want to hear it. He was like, I don't want to hear that. I saw her beat her. I don't want to hear it. And he was like, she did, and she just got her fingers out of the hair. I don't want to hear it, sir. Either you tell me her name or she's getting locked up. And he told her the name, but he still locked him up.
I'm ready. Name? Like I'm at a point where like I wish that happens to me. I want to come across a Kern.
Well, since you're ready, I need you to let me know when it goes down.
So he can be ready with his camera.
So I can have my camera ready, and also be on my get my escape plan ready, because I got my submarine, and
and you're laughing, but I feel like
I'm not. I'm laughing, but I've said this on several shows now that when it goes down, I'm out of here. I'm getting out of here.
It's going to happen, and it's going to be in one of these urban communities. And I feel like one of these
kind of leading I'm doing,
and somebody's gonna blow somebody's head off, and that's gonna spark outrage.
Everything.
And
well, but see, the interesting part about what you said right there, it's kind of already getting kicked off, and I think that whoever that was that ran up on the police officers in the car in California and shot them both in the head. They ain't died, and they didn't die, but they did it and ran, pow pow, and they ran.
Because we're hearing a narrative and we're seeing footage, but we don't know what happened, prior to that.
Mm-hmm.
That's why for me, even when it's us on the victim side, I want this to be taken to court. I don't want this on public on social media for public opinion to pick it apart. Take it to court. Let's fight that way. Because many of these videotapes are not telling us the whole truth. And we find that out after
but the problem
with
the court thing, like I mean, I don't see a problem with it. I agree with what you're saying, but the problem that's happening is that stuff is not making it to court because it's already handled in the streets. Meaning police killing you.
Yeah, I know
or
about that.
I'm just so scared. I'm so scared to let my 14-year-old. He sounds like a grown ass man, and he's so tall for his age. I'm so scared for him to go outside, even just to go check the mail right down the street.
You talking about your son? You talking about
my oldest son? I'm scared because they make a mistake him. He fit the description, and then beat my child, possibly kill him. I'm scared.
I was getting ready to say a joke, but I'm gonna save it for later.
Have you gotten him an identification card?
He has one, but it was from 2 years ago. And
I just remember being that age, and my mother, because I had facial hair, and my grandmother telling my mother it was called an age majority card. You need to go get him an age majority card because somebody's gonna mistake him for grown, and anything could happen. And the fact that this is still happening, and now you have to worry about your son. And Monty, you have a nephew that's getting older, and I got nieces and cousins that are around that age, and it's scary. I've lost several students. So I just this weekend I looked those 40 people. One of those were like one of my former students. And it was senseless. And
the funny part about that, what you're saying is totally true because I've actually learned. I've actually been paying attention more and more to my nephew and his lifestyle and trying to steer him not out of having friends because friends are important, but
he needs to have the right kind of
I don't want him to become only because I didn't do it. Like if I was ever saw it or pictured on somebody's street corner, it was because I was going into the corner store. But
that's what he's saying.
No, there is. I've never stood on nobody's corner and lollygagged and was around anybody doing any offensive stuff or selling something or another. I picked up, but hello. But no, I'm paying attention to that because he's 11 now, and
does he look 11?
Yeah, he looks 11. He does.
My son don't look 14.
He hasn't had that growth.
He looks like
but he had a growth spurt around that time. That's when he had his growth spurt around that time, between 11 and 14. And I'm paying attention more to him, just to steer him, keep him on the right path. Don't waver.
Still has to interact.
That's what I say. Even though he has to interact with a whole bunch of people, but it's more so like now in his age range, his interaction seems to be like more so family, his cousins, because he got cousins that got a cousin that got the same birthday, same age, and everything. So, and it's like he has a lot of family that's in his age range that he can still hang with and do stuff with and still feel open. But he lives in the county, so we're not really too worried about that environment in it of itself.
But you still worry about, but that's where it starts at also.
No, that's what I'm saying. I said yet. Because that's when they start to get familiar with the buses, and then they want to start. I mean, that's where we were. When we was living in the county, we experimented with the buses, wanted to go into the city to see what the city life was like.
But even in county life,
but I never wanted to live there.
In county life, you still are exposed to things that aren't necessarily city things. People get high in the county. They
yes, definitely. But I don't know what it is about the county high it's different from the city high. Because the county high didn't have you on the street corner bent over like you picking up pennies.
That's what no.
Done.
I've never, all my life of living in the county,
I'm not
I
saying
never
that's
came
what
across
it
a
is,
crackhead on the corner leaning.
but I'm gonna tell you, in the
jiving.
county is where they started using prescription drugs.
I'm not negating the fact that they were getting high. I'm not negating the fact that they were getting high. I'm negating the fact that they were never on the street corner kneeling over picking up the change. That did not exist.
Well, that's a community thing.
Right.
It's unacceptable,
a city thing.
And it's not a norm for you to be hanging out on corners. As soon as they see one or two gathering, they cut it out. Somebody's auntie or police officer already to squash that.
Mm-hmm.
So they in the basement getting high off of grandma, Percocet pills.
Yeah, because see, my experience with with people getting high as a child wasn't the same as what I see today. Like you can see, you'll hear the kids walking down the street talking about, "Look at this crackhead." That's not what I experienced growing up. I knew the crackheads were around, but they made sure they got in the house. They did their dirt. They did their dirt in the comfort of their 3-bedroom apartment.
Yeah.
With class.
Yeah.
They had class. Crackhead class. I don't know what kind of class was that, but it's class.
Crackhead class. Oh my goodness. Oh,
that was it is a stark difference, and that's what like county kids were going into the city to see. That it was almost like a field trip to us. I say to them, but it was us. And I was like, oh, I never want to live here. That was my opinion back then, and then here I am. Here I am.
Because at some point you realize the narrative isn't completely true, and not everybody in the city is a crackhead or up to no good. Just like everybody in the county ain't, uptight and all together.
Right.
But it's just it's an address.
Exactly.
And people getting that confused. It's just an address. Towson, Owens Mills, what's that? Woodlawn, Annapolis. They all got hoods.
Oh yeah.
They just hide them better. But the seams are starting to show in many of those places because they transferring the people out there.
Yep, that is very true.
But what do you mean by the seams?
Well, I'm saying like the seam, like in terms of what just it used to be able to hide it. If you was in the county, that means your uncle or your father that got high, he only got high in the garage, in the basement, and then he was good by the time Monday morning came. He only got high on the weekends. But now, they can't hide it no more. It's, your little niece that got her Section 8, she brought her mother out there that's a crackhead. Now her mother getting high.
Look at mama.
While she walked into the gas station.
Should have left mama ass in the city.
Where was she gonna live?
Perkins Homes.
That's where they was living at, and they closing them down and they shipped them out.
Hopefully they get to come back after they finish the remodel.
That's not the plan.
Actually, no, that is the plan. The plan changed again, and they're back to being majority low income. Like I think the top floors are not going to be low income. Well, the government's not paying for it now at this point, so
it's really not the plan.
No, the state's paying for it all. I think the government came out of the grant, so now there's
gonna be one or two low income people in there just to take care of the bottom line sales.
I'll hope it'll be more than that because I'm still not coming. Like Perkins, it's just not my thing. I don't want to live in a project. It's still going to be a project, is what I'm getting at.
I'm surprised that they still have it up, and is that close to John Hopkins?
Yes, it's going to be a higher end project. It's still going to be the same project though.
I think they about to shut that down.
They're going to build it because they're building the new development and a garage for it.
Oh yeah, they're not coming back. Say goodbye.
See, I got so many jokes. They just want to come out, but I want to save them for my comedy performance.
Oh, that's why you got the hat on.
No, the hat is for a reason, because if I lift this no, I'm not doing it. No.
I mean, just cut it bald if it's receding.
You tried it. There will never be any recession in here, honey. Get your life. It's just a mess on the back.
My baby daddy got Native American in him.
We all do.
Shoot. I check that. That's one thing I know, that there's no balding in my family.
Okay.
I had to recheck. Sorry. No, my father had all his hair when he got put in this closet right here. Yeah.
Oh God.
Look, now y'all can try to have the police come here thinking he in there for real. He is in there, but he was cremated.
Oh, Jesus.
Not by me. By Vaughn Green.
Listen,
You gotta put it out there, Monty.
Right, I had to clear that up. Like I burned them down here in the basement or something. No, Vaughn Green did it. All right, so let's go here with my top story for tonight. This mass hysterectomies. Because you know what, I haven't heard. This has not been a top story in the media, period. Like on television media. Like this has been widespread on written media, but not one. Like I've been watching this all day trying to see what.
Because it's mainly happening to Black women.
No, it's happening to Hispanic women.
Well, that's still Black to me.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Because it's been happening to a lot of younger Black women are getting hysterectomies now, like out of order. Like that was a 50, 60-year-old thing. That wasn't 20-something-year-old thing.
So when you say that, you saying that younger women are getting it, but are they getting it against their will, or is this what they want? Because I know a lot of people that want them.
I mean, against your will is no longer, because now they can say, well, you have a problem.
Uh-huh.
And they're snatching, it was crazy because we don't, in my family, it's not a history of it, but it happened to my mother, it happened to my sister. And they were seemingly healthy people.
What happened?
They both got hysterectomies.
Did they have issues though?
I mean, without putting it out there, but for a lot of women,
that's why I say issues.
Like
I don't want to know what, but did they have issues? Yeah.
Yeah, but like heavy flows, is that a proper?
I don't.
That's right.
You know
That's right.
Like it's normally women who suffer from really heavy flows, but there's no reason behind the heavy flow. It's just
okay.
Right, but I know some people that want them because their cramps they got the heavy flow, but they also got them severe cramps.
Yeah.
And they choose to do the hysterectomy.
It was no real, for either of them, it was no real explanation for why this is happening to them. Mm-hmm. But the solution was to give them a hysterectomy. Mm. And my mother was much older. My mother was in her 40s. My sister was in her 20s.
Mm. Oh, she had all her kids though? Did she have all the kids that she wanted?
I can't speak for my sister, but I'm quite sure
that's not something you never asked.
Probably not.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Wow. Anyway, well, the story but the story goes, Monday, a private nurse, a nurse at a private immigration detention center in Georgia came forward about a range of dangerous medical practice at a U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement facility. According to her, the center has not only ignored COVID-19 protocols, but is actively performing mass hysterectomies on detained people. The whistleblower, her name is Dawn Wooten, worked at the Irwin County Detention Center, which is operated by LaSalle Corrections, where she allegedly witnessed the company's refusal to test detainees for COVID-19, as well as spoke to several people who each had their uteruses removed as part of an unwarranted hysterectomy procedure. According to the official complaint, lodged with the Office of Inspector General for the Department of Homeland Security. Wooten said that the facility was performing hysterectomies on people who reported having like you just said, heavy menstrual cycles or other more serious pain, but that everybody's uterus cannot be that bad. That's basically what you just said.
Right, and it's the same thing. Like and I think they used to do that with tying people tubes as well. Like that can't be the only. Did you have enough children? Are you okay? But then whenever they would have an issue, they would just tie the tubes or find some way to cut off the woman's reproductive system, and that
And
seems
I
crazy.
guess your trigger is that it seems to only usually happen to people of color.
Mm-hmm. Is a solution that's the only solution, or that's what they resort to, versus and it's been said, when Black people go to the hospital, they always give us that pain threshold question, and they always assume that my assumption is they think we can take more, so they always resort to the most extreme situation, versus is there a homeopathic way to get rid of the heavy flow or the cramps or the other issues that may be, because I think fibroids is another issue, but to get rid of some of these things in a more natural way, or another lesser severe consequence, versus I'm just going to take your whole uterus out, so you'll never be able to have another child, even if it was possible.
So she said, I've had several inmates tell me that they've been to see the doctor and they've had hysterectomies and they don't know why they went or why they're going.
Yep.
Oh boy.
And it's going to be a study just like all those tests at Johns Hopkins decades ago, where they were just giving people this one cure for whatever ailment they had, and when they could have had all these other options. You don't hear a bunch of white women having hysterectomies.
It says they called the doctor, who was an out of facility doctor, who was basically responsible for all the doing all the hysterectomies. They call him the uterus collector.
Oh God.
Yes, I see why.
It's crazy.
It says
I'm ready to move. I'm ready to take my chances in another country.
Her quote says, everybody he sees has a hysterectomy. Just about everybody.
Let me put the name of the doctor out, Monty, if you got the name of him, to make sure that I don't run into him or nobody I love.
The uterus collector.
Yeah, that's serious.
And a lot of us, but see, you know what? A lot of Black people, when we finally do get to a doctor, we take their word.
Yep.
We don't ever go to, well, let me use my power of a second, third opinion. Just go, okay, that's what the problem is. Okay, this is what it is. I just got a notice from my doctor that I'm in a pre-diabetic phase. And she was already ready to put me on medication. No, miss, you said pre. There's some options that I can have now. This was like before the quarantine happened, and it's stabilized now that I've been eating more vegan meals and I've been preparing more of my food. But don't just jump to put me on medication, because you trying to get a kickback from the pharmaceutical company, but we never question it.
Oh, I always question it.
No.
I got questions.
Most of us don't, though. But you have a certain level of insurance. When you've never had insurance, or you don't have, a good relationship with doctors, you don't have a tendency to, either you don't go, or when you do go, you either listen to exactly what they tell you to do, or you don't do it at all, and the problem get worse, or what they tell you to do makes another thing happen. So you giving me all these pills to take, and you worrying about, diabetes possibly shutting down certain organs. But me taking all these pills is the same thing as being diabetic.
Just to cap this story with this, Naya, this right here is a tale for your life right here.
Oh.
Whistle blow. Do you hear me?
Oh. Okay.
So snitch.
Okay.
Is what
Immediately. That's a side note for another time after I get the scoop.
And don't snitch to your supervisors.
No, outside government
I
agencies.
gotta go higher. Yeah, I gotta go higher.
Call from Monty's phone.
Here, you can call on air. It's like, no, I'm not joking.
Right.
I'll call right now. I got the phone right here. They ain't open.
I'm really ready to take my chances in another country. It feels scary, but I just, and they're knowing, like, this is common knowledge. It's happening, and people are treating people of color, whether they be Hispanic or Mexican or African American or whatever, they're treating us as if we're crazy.
Right.
But they know this is happening.
If we don't know, we're uneducated. Yeah.
Right. Like,
do y'all plan to get the flu shot? Just to ask the question.
Fuck no. I didn't get it last year, and I have not been sick one time.
No, I don't.
I'm getting it.
Get it.
I'm going.
I was gonna get it.
Oh yeah.
I'm getting it.
Tell me how that worked out for you.
It works out for me fine every year. I get it every year.
Yeah.
I normally get sick every year.
And I don't. I haven't been sick in probably 3.
I normally get sick every year, and last year I got so sick the year before, and it was like a short stint of me getting sick, but it was like really, I never had those complications from a flu.
Yeah, I haven't had the flu in probably 3 years. I did get sick, but my sickness wasn't from the flu. My sickness was from alcohol, actually. When I got pancreatitis.
You were drinking liquor. That wasn't alcohol.
Yeah, that's when I gave it up. That was the last drink I had. That was 2.5 years. I mean, that was the last everyday drink I had. That was like 2.5 years ago. Now I only drink when I'm sitting on this beach.
Oh, that's right.
I was getting ready to say every 6 months. But now this COVID shit broke my every 6 month streak because I've already missed my 6 month mark.
So now you just drinking straight bottles?
No, I don't drink anymore. I don't drink at home. No, I don't drink no more. No more drinking. Yeah, I only drink when I'm out of the country. Because if I'm going to die, I'm going to die on vacation. Hello?
Oh, Jesus. And the submarine.
Go harvest all your organs.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm gone. It don't matter. Take them. If you can make use out of them.
That's why they gave you that liquor, that brown liquor.
That's okay.
That's why they gave it to you.
I'm well taken care of when I'm down there. So if I die, I died in a place that I wanted to be.
How fast?
That's why I'm moving. That's why I'm moving. When the shit hit the fan here, and I have to leave you people.
It already hit the fan. You better stop.
No, it ain't hit the fan for me. I'm good. I'm in the house. Okay. I'm good. Every day I'm good until it starts to knock on this storm door. Then I got to go.
When they want you, when they ready for you, they gonna get you.
I won't be here because once I hear them starting to knock,
you ain't gonna hear it though.
I'm gonna hear it. I got my eyes and my cameras on the scene.
all them packages and
Comcast security. Unless Comcast is involved, then I'm good. As soon as that door upstairs opens, it's because the alarm is on all the time, 24/7. The alarm is on.
Oh, it's not gonna be a break-in.
So how they gonna get me?
Chemical warfare. What you think they're doing right now?
I got gas masks. Trust. It's face masks everywhere in here. It's stuff everywhere in here. I'm good. I got a panic room and everything. I got a panic room and everything.
That they delivered to your house.
I got a panic room and everything. It's right there.
Okay.
Trust. And I got a food stored in there. I could last in there for 30 months. I got NASA food. I got dehydrated food. All I got to do is sprinkle some water on it. And there we go. A cheesesteak sub.
It's not.
It's much. That package?
Yes, it's silver. It's a yeah, you sprinkle some water on it. You got a whole garden salad.
My mother got the astronaut food.
Right, exactly.
NASA water on it and it swells up and eat it. Yeah, I remember that from back in the 80s.
I've seen that when people so would use that for camping and stuff.
Yeah, and going on the
That's okay. Let this go down. chemical warfare and shit. Y'all stop playing. Y'all better stop playing around with these chemicals. I was just watching that show on HBO Max. But who was I telling about that? I was telling you, Lindsay, right? About Raised by Wolves is what it's called.
Yeah.
It's a really good show. Really good show. And I mean, it actually talks about all. I mean, it basically points out all of this. It's more so about religion than it is about anything else. But it was a really good show about this android was instructed to take these embryos basically to another planet and restart civilization, leaving us behind and go start a new civilization basically without religion.
Wow. Okay.
And it was interesting. And this android,
interesting.
The android, took the embryos and made babies. She made 6 babies first, and they were supposed to restart civilization on this planet. And it was good. It comes on.
What's the name of this?
It's called Raised by Wolves.
Oh, okay.
But it's a futuristic show. But the wolves, meaning the androids, is basically the wolf, and she's raising the kids. Okay. Yeah.
Gotcha.
But it's a really good show. It looked like a very expensive show too for it to be on HBO Max, which is like it's a streaming service. I guess it's in their line of work, it's not really expensive because we still have access to it if you subscribe to HBO. But it seemed like it should have been on HBO, the channel, is what I'm getting at. Gotcha. So your asshole of a president tried to blame Biden for not instituting a mask mandate.
First of all, he blames everybody except for himself. He never takes responsibility.
But that's the point, right? Because he's not president. So how can you blame somebody that's not even the president about not doing a mask mandate?
They criticized him for staying inside in the beginning of the pandemic.
During a pandemic, right?
And not doing more to spread the word on wearing masks. When you just started wearing masks,
he still don't wear them.
He wear them because now
he wears them sometimes. But he just did 3 rallies.
On the sides of it.
He just did 3 rallies with no mask, and majority of the audience without mask.
Didn't they learn from the black guy that passed away from that?
Herman Cain. And I still keep saying I don't understand.
They think it's a black disease now.
And I still keep saying, like, why doesn't the the media is not talking about that? That's very explosive. Y'all know this man this man is the most popular man out of all the people that have passed away from COVID. Herman Cain would be the most popular person, and that has not been a top headline of the fact that he died after going to one of his rallies.
Well, why would they promote that when they
It's not promoting, it's the truth.
Yeah, but that's still promoting it, though. That's still promoting the fact that they're lying, that him having this huge, well, it wasn't huge because it was a lot of holes in that audience, but having this thing in the midst of a pandemic was dumb. Like,
oh no, what you mean by promoting? I'm talking about the media not using that as a stepping stool to denounce these rallies.
The media outlets are seemingly on Trump's side. I'm shocked that a lot of the more seemingly democratic allies are not promoting it, but it wasn't. I think it's obvious to us. I think it's very obvious that he died like a week or so after going to.
It was 2 weeks.
Right, going to your big function and sitting in the audience laughing and taking pictures with people.
Right.
Yeah.
And now you die.
All I know is that I'm hungry right now. I had crab cakes earlier. I've had crab cakes every day this week.
That's too much.
I made them, so it was left. It was basically leftovers. So.
Okay.
You said it like that made
it did make a difference. It did make a difference. It made a difference to me.
Was nasty and burnt.
I did not like.
They were never nasty. I took a picture of one of them and put them on Facebook.
I saw the picture. They look nasty.
You're a liar. You are a liar. You are a liar.
They look real shallow, real bread.
You're jealous. Now my buttons don't work. Look at this.
If I ain't done anything doing this, I've ate well.
Now my buttons broke. You're
As
so
it should
lucky.
be. He don't like ugly.
You're so lucky my buttons broke. So I get my buttons back together.
I want you to take the skull cap off.
I don't have on a skull cap. I have on a hat.
That's a skull cap.
Scully.
It's a Scully. It's not.
A skull cap.
You lucky. Oh, you so lucky my sound effects just broke. Oh, I want to play so many buttons.
I'm covered.
That's not the right button I want.
Very protected.
Phony bitches.
What did it say?
Phony bitches.
Oh, shit.
One more story and then I gotta go. Kanye West pees on his Grammys to Grammy Awards to prove a point. Is what this headline says.
What point
And
was
this
he
is the man that people keep encouraging to run for president.
But then nobody's encouraging him but Trump. Trump is encouraging him. Because Trump knows he's going to steal more votes from the Democratic side, and it's going to help him
Well, no, that's
get
not
elected.
true because Mimi said she's voting for him. So that's why I said people are encouraging him, and she don't listen to Trump.
I remember Mimi did say that.
He only
And so did the other guy that was behind her.
West.
The guy that was
Right.
on
We keep saying these people don't follow Trump. They do. They do. A lot of them follow him. They've been.
No, I'm
following
not going
him.
to say nobody's following him. I mean, clearly people are following him. I'm saying in particular, those two are not. They don't know anything of them. Them two from last week know nothing about politics. Clearly,
They just know he got a check.
right? That's all he knew. He got a check.
And he probably didn't even get a check because he didn't give us a clear answer on his job.
Mm-hmm. On his child
He
support
said
situation.
he pit hoes.
He ain't let you know about his child support situation because he wouldn't have got no check if he got child support due.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that fool got kids. He looked like somebody that got kids.
That's
several
sad.
different people. So it says Kanye
People
West.
only vote for him because he's Kanye West. Like, this is all they know.
It says Kanye West took to Twitter earlier this week to share his strong views on recording contracts and music ownership, and he chose an interesting way to make his point. In a since deleted tweet, which was posted on September the 14th, the rapper announced that he will not be releasing new music, who cares, until his contract with Sony ATV Music Publishing and his label Universal Music Group are finished. The 45-year-old continued his Twitter rant on Wednesday, September the 16th, by sharing screenshots of his contract with the Universal Music Group. I need every lawyer in the world to look at these, the Grammy winner wrote. All the musicians will be free.
Now, what I do agree with Kanye is, I believe that is his mission. I think that's what his overall mission is, and I think in his mind, and I think a lot of this was helped by Trump, that being in this position is going to help you get rid of a lot of those issues that's happening in the music industry. I think he needs to get help, clear his mind, and that should be his outside of his artistry protest. I don't think you need to be protesting against nothing else, but helping artists not to have to sign these horrible 360 deals. And for him, he doesn't even have an album deal. They have him for a certain amount of time. So that's the only way.
I'm about to say that. That's what I was getting ready to say. He has the bigger platform, the bigger clout to make. I mean, because I don't understand why he's even trying to go this route when he could easily go independent. He's one of the ones that could easily go independent. Is he doing this because he's fighting for others?
Well, see, they got Kanye earlier because of his initial success, not only with his own music, but what he's helped other artists to be able to do. They got him on like a cross-section deal where he's not just there to produce his own music. They got him on a producer side. He's contracted as a producer as well.
But who
So
fault
they
is
gave
it?
him
This
all
is
of
but
this.
we're talking about somebody that's now have been in the industry for over 10 years.
Yeah, but
So,
he hasn't. But he's had that same deal though.
but again,
still
who
under that
fault is
same
it?
deal.
Again, like I said, you've been in this industry now for over 10 years. Who fault is it that you signed into a new deal that was may have been a bad deal? Who knows? I don't even know what this contract looks like, but he's calling it a bad deal
But see, he
because
was
of publishing.
under. But see,
He said because
initially,
he wants his contract. What is that? The rapper announced that he would not be releasing new music until his contract with Sony Music Publishing and his label at Universal Music Group are finished.
see, he was under Jay-Z and a lot of those artists initially. So all of those people have left him. So he's the only one there still under this contract. So he was the one that was stuck under the contract.
Well, no,
And
this
we
is
can't
this is
fault him
not,
for
not
the
that he's not
because
under
before-
contract at all. He says he's waiting for it to be finished.
No, he's under contract, but he doesn't have the normal artist contract. His contract is for a duration of time. It's not.
No, this
like
says the rapper announced that he will not be releasing new music until his contract.
That's what I'm saying to you. His contract isn't based on him putting out albums. He has like a producer contract. So it's him producing music for
right,
other
but what I'm saying
so
is it's not
do
done. It's not finished. So
That's
he's
what
talking
I'm
about the
saying to
contract
you.
being finished.
But that's what I'm saying to you. His contract isn't an album deal contract. His contract is for him to work under those entities for a certain amount of time. It's not. He doesn't have to produce music under his contract necessarily. Okay. He could, and they'll probably back him, but he doesn't have to produce because he puts.
But
a lot
again,
of his
like I
own
just said though, he doesn't. I'm wondering if he's doing this for others because he doesn't have to do this at all. All these people that have gone independent and have made success of their careers, he would have a more likely chance of doing that than to continue to try to do this with them.
But Kanye knows that because he produces all his work, so he owns his own work. So
and he's no longer protected because that's who Beyonce is under Sony. So he's no longer protected. Like she can't go knock on her door. Like, can you chat with this nigga? Because I need my deal to look like.
I think right now he is selfishly doing this, but I'm saying he needs to focus on helping so artists like him don't ever have to go through this again. I think that should be his play, and not trying to be president or focusing on issues that don't pertain to him. I think he needs to.
I'm trying to figure out like why are you even talking about releasing new music when you're gonna be if your mission is to go be in 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. Why do we care about your? I don't want my president rapping or
but
fake, fake preaching.
Nope. But like 45, he doesn't understand that once he becomes president, he cannot be at the helm of any of his businesses. He doesn't understand that. And
that's so like why are you even working on contracts if you're running for president? Like what you should be putting that stuff on hold so you can focus on.
Nobody said that to Trump. Nobody said that to Trump.
Well, they did say it. He didn't do it.
Well, they said
it plenty of times. They still said it.
The finish line.
They still said it that there needs to be a distinction between you doing your work. I think
they reminded him that you can't be in charge of all these businesses. That's why his daughter doesn't have an official title. That's why she's the one, and his sons don't have official titles because they.
Well, the sons don't work. The sons don't work for the government. The administration. The only one that does is Ivanka and Jared.
That's what I'm saying. That's why none of them. Well,
they got titles. They're advisors. They're advisors to the president. That's
but they're not official. Those are like contracted workers. They're not like government employees.
No, they are government employees. Jared is special advisor to the president, and
that's his son-in-law.
Right.
I'm talking about his actual children.
Oh no, none of them work for the government at all.
That's what I'm saying.
Except for Ivanka. The only one that works for Ivanka is Ivanka.
That's who name he put his companies in.
Right.
Because that's why he didn't give them any official duties, or not duties, but any government titles, because they wouldn't have been able to work. But nobody is checking him on that because he's still making money as Trump Tower and Trump is leasing his name and all these foreign things that they're going on, his daughter's doing. They're still making money. I don't understand how they can be that close to government
Mm-hmm.
and still be making money the way they making it, and nobody's saying anything.
Well, they're saying it. It's just nothing they can do about it.
Has anything happened from his, what is that, niece that was writing the book?
Yeah, the book is out.
Oh yeah, that book is
Oh,
out.
okay.
Where you been? Oh, you haven't been here?
I've been at work.
I think a lot of the stuff that was in the book we probably either knew about already, or she let out a lot of family stuff, like how his sister feels about him, how his parents felt about him, how she basically painted the picture that we've been saying this whole time.
Right, he's an unfit person to be president.
Right. His sisters come out and said it. Like, when your family is saying you're not fit, like somebody should listen at that point. Like,
but a lot of families is quick to throw somebody. I'm not saying this is the case for him, but I'm just saying a lot of families, they want to throw. They don't roll with you or support you the way they should. But in his case, I believe everything.
I think, but a lot of his family is what it sounds like. They was like, okay, you could be president, you could be whatever you want to be. Okay, do your 4 years, get your little library and get notoriety, but we can't let you do this because you're really fucking up the country at this point. Like, that's what his sister seems to have that perspective, and his niece seems to have that perspective.
Well, somebody sit his ass down and be like, bro, goodbye, get out.
But if you read the book, it paints the picture of he is basically doing what his father left off doing. Like, he's basically becoming his father and how he's running this country. Like, cutthroat, don't really care about anybody else but his own selfish needs. Like, I can't wait to read Melania's book in like 10 years. I just want to read that book. She's not going to be the writer, but
I was just reading this article the other day where they were saying that they're going to be waiting for him as soon as he leaves office to put the handcuffs on.
That's why he's trying to get this second term.
Right. He's fighting hard for
so he can fix it where those problems go away.
I believe that.
I want them, you know how like the Obamas came and greeted him and like was like the switching of power. I want in that moment for the SWAT team to come in. Like when they're ushering in Biden and Kamala, I want the SWAT team to choose that moment. Or they let them get on Air Force One for the last time and fly.
I'd be like, I would allow y'all at this point, just crash through the windows on ropes. Just come on and get them.
No, I don't even like. I don't want it to be, because that's gonna be a spectacle around the world and our White House.
But I want they go get right to the FBI.
Right. No, I want them to get on the plane, Air Force One, and I want them to drive them to New York. And as they're getting off the plane, I want him to slip off the top front step of Air Force One. I want him to slip first. But I want the SWAT team to be at the bottom waiting for him. I've thought about this. I've thought about it hard.
You really have.
And detailed.
You gotta dream. You gotta be detailed in your prayer.
Right. You absolutely right.
That kitten hill, he's gonna slip.
Yes, I want him from the top step though, not from the middle. I want him to slip from the top step
down.
Because he go bogart his wife and son, so he gonna come out before them, and I want them to be standing at the top.
And you know what? You know what's the sad part about it? I don't give a damn about how Barron feels.
Barron doesn't feel. Barron is gonna be one of these shooters. If they don't do nothing,
he gonna be a shooter. It's time to go. I thank you guys for listening. He gonna be a shooter.
Y'all think it's a game?
Oh my gosh, my chest, everything right here hurts. Yes, I can't. And my sound effects don't work. I want to applaud out. I want to just leave for the rest of the evening because I don't want Barron to be a shooter. Gosh, that's gonna go viral. Watch.
He is. He doesn't. What other option does this young man have in life? You know, I mean, outside of what if he marries a black woman? Like that'll be my
Or
other.
he could be like Tiffany and never heard of again.
That's the youngest one. I don't think they go. You can't get rid of him. But he gonna do something crazy in college or something. He gonna do something off the wall, like you go find a rabbit in his dorm room or something. It's
A
gonna be
rabbit.
something
Oh
crazy.
God.
It's gonna be something.
What are you gonna be doing
off.
with the rabbit? What are you
I'm
gonna do
telling
to the
y'all.
rabbit? What are you gonna do to the rabbit?
He
What-
already.
That's what
I
I'm
mean,
trying to.
What
I'm
is he gonna do
waiting
to this
to
rabbit?
they waiting. That's why they don't let you don't never see him. Like when you see him, he's with them both. You never see like pictures like they used to follow the Obama girls.
Mm-hmm.
You don't see any photos like that. They make sure nobody sees this boy because he's not always there. You can tell he's not there. Like something missing. Just like the other
he got
son.
the
He do look
apple
sad.
don't fall from the
He
tree.
do look sad all the time.
He's
The apple do
depressed. His
not fall
dad
far
is
from the
a
tree.
psychopath.
I wonder what the kid.
Exactly.
I wonder what the kids say to him, his classmates.
Good.
Right. They probably bully him. That's probably why he looks sad like that.
Yeah.
He probably homeschooled.
They
I'm
laugh
sure he's
at him.
But he
they
wasn't.
throw-
He wasn't home. He's homeschooled now because of the,
Yeah, he
his
goes to
school's
a
not
private
open.
school in DC.
Yeah.
Like, well, not in DC, and I believe in Virginia. He goes
They
to a
probably
private
bully
school.
him.
But he is being homeschooled now because the school's closed. But
Yeah, his school didn't open back up. Yeah, they bully that boy. They probably throw books at his head.
They probably threaten him.
They
Oh.
beat him up in the shower.
You
Everything.
said throw books. I said beat him up in the shower. On that note,
That's it. That's it. I'm already getting ready to hit the applause button because I can't get my sound effects to work. Nate broke them.
I didn't break them. You broke them, overusing them.
I hate that I overuse my sound effect. That's it. Good night. Look, I can't even close up the show because everything is frozen now. Look at this.
I remember those days. Those 3
Yes,
hour
sir.
shows.
It was clothes folding.
When that
Clean up
music
your
started, you know to get up.